all things being equal. And so, for example, that could lead to a lot of innovations or new ways of looking at things. I mean, one idea that comes to mind before I get into the specific office of data management, there's so many. Marianne Williamson says that, she wants to create an office of peace, that, we have an office of war, basically, or that focuses on war, and that we have to actively focus on the things that we want. And I'm not going to take, obviously, a position on political ideas of others, but on the podcast. But I do think that we have to focus on what we want, not just focus on what we don't want. So the Office of Data Management would be recognizing that data is basically like the new oil. I mean, people say water is the new oil, which is true because skirmishes are breaking out all over about water. I like clean water, and I have a podcast about that. But data is basically the new oil. So on both the government and the company and the individual level, there's going to have to be a reorganization around data and data management. Now, I have a podcast that talked about the individual level, how individuals are going to get control of their own data and be able to monetize that. So you can watch that. And I think companies are going to have to do the same thing, just like you have a CEO and a CMO and a CTO and a COO. The CDO, the Chief Data Officer, may become one of the most important roles in an organization in terms of how data is structured, data rights, data monetization. And I think on the government level, the Office of Data Management is going to be critical, because right now we don't really have, like, when Mark Zuckerberg was questioned before Congress, it was clear that they didn't really know how to question him effectively. A lot of the press picked up on that and wrote articles about that Facebook was way ahead in their understanding of these tech principles, including data principles, like when they were questioned about the 2016 election, privacy issues, and other scandals that have happened. And that's because the government is not organized around these issues, and they're playing catch up. So there should be, multiple issues, like, an Office of Artificial Intelligence, that focuses on, like, the dangers of artificial intelligence, but also the great capabilities of artificial intelligence. And there should be an Office of Data Management that focuses on consumer rights. What are the consumer rights of data management? How should companies be regulated around data? And how could the government get a competitive advantage while still respecting our values around data management? What should happen with surveillance? What should happen with encryption, cryptocurrencies? The government is, like, way, way, way behind because they're not organized around these things.